Alright guys, I want to give you guys my review of Super Mario RPG. So I played this game like way back in the day when it was released, like what, 1996, 1997, when the Super Nintendo was on its last legs. That's when I played this game. And back when I played it, it was my very first RPG, right? And for my very first RPG, I thought this game was huge. It was big. We had this huge continent to explore, all these NPCs, all these towns, a crazy story, bosses to fight, enemies to fight. I thought it was very complicated. I was like, what? I don't know. I was like 6, 7 years old, 8 years old, maybe at most. I don't remember, right? But back in that day, man, this felt revolutionary. It felt tough. I thought the game was like 30, 40 hours. It was a huge game, man. And I enjoyed it back in the day. I thought it was one of a kind. I thought it was a masterpiece, right? So I had very fond, very great memories of this game. So then Nintendo comes out and says, hey, we're remaking this game. So I was excited. Yeah, fine. I would like to play it. I wish they'd make a sequel to it. But hey, it's been what? 20, 25 plus years since I played this game. So why not? So I said, okay, I'm going to try it out. It's a classic. Let me give it a try. So I pick it up on release day. I pay $60, $70 for it. I pick it up and I start playing it. And as soon as I start playing it, I realize that phenomenon that they talk about, rose-tinted glasses, nostalgia. It's very true. It's extremely true. This game, it's not the game that I remembered it to be. It's a very simple and very easy RPG is what I realized. You could blaze through this game within 10 to 12 hours at most. If you're incompetent, maybe 15 hours. So I don't know where I got this idea that was like some huge game. And all the enemies, the boss encounters, they're super easy. You don't even really need to think much. Even in the turn-based strategy, you don't really need to think much, strategize which characters to use, what to have out, what moves to use. Not much of that. If you just use each character's strongest moves, you'll kill pretty much every boss except for the side bosses, like that ninja in Monster Town. But other than that, this game the battles don't require too much thinking. Not only that, but once you go into the towns themselves are pretty small. Each town has like 4 to 5 houses, and each of the NPCs, they only have one line of dialogue, which I was like, man, after playing a lot of RPGs in the past 30 years, this feels very, very bare bones and very simplistic. I guess, I mean, I understand is a product of its time from the SNES, but I mean, come on, Nintendo, if you're remaking this game, you could have added a lot more meat and a lot more depth. But, I mean, I found that to be very disappointing, very jarring to be honest with you guys. It's just like, it's a very simple RPG. If you're like a kid, or if you have kids at this point, you want them to get into RPGs, this is probably the best game to get them into RPGs. But if you're like me, a veteran gamer of 30 plus years, nah, man, this game, I mean, it is what it is, right? It's a great game, but it's a product of its time. I mean, it doesn't hold up today. If you just want to go down memory lane, great. If you know what to expect, you haven't played the game in a long time, and you know it's a pretty simple RPG, then yeah, you won't be disappointed. But if you're like me, you had nostalgia about this game, you come back to it, you play it, you realize how simple and how bare bones this game is. Really, it really is bare bones. I really wish Nintendo added more to this game. Okay, don't change the base game, but after we beat the game, could you have added an extra bonus world for us to explore? Maybe a new side story, a new companion, new characters, new side quests in that extra bonus area, a new bosses, more tougher bosses, something like that. But nope, man, it's just a 1-to-1. But so, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it was worth the $60, $70 I paid for it. Personally, for me, I would just skip this game at this point. If you played this game on the SNES recently, you're really not missing out much. You're not missing out on anything at all, to be honest with you. Just improved graphics at this point. Other than that, they really added nothing to this game, which is very disappointing, man. So I'm really disappointed, to be honest with you. I realize how big nostalgia can be now. So I just wish there was more depth to this game, like more dialogue with NPCs, more side quests, more areas to explore. The areas have more depth into them, more branching pathways, more conversations to have with your companion, more side quests relating to your companions. I wish they would, if they make a sequel, they should add all that stuff to it, because I think Super Mario RPG is a great foundation. They just need to expand upon it. So my review, I would give it a 6 out of 10. I really wish Nintendo added more to this game. I seriously wish. Right now, to me, it feels like a childhood relic. It's a product of its time. It's like going through a history book. Yeah, times were great back then, but the grass is always greener, right? So, for the Thousand Year Door remake, they gotta add more to it. Please. I know that game has more depth to it, but please, you gotta add more content to our remake than just doing a straight one-to-one remake. Please add an extra 2 worlds with the budget you have, Nintendo. Please do something that's worthy of my $60 to $70. I'm out, guys. See ya.